I'm feeling like I'm Tom Thibodeau. Create the culture, they just dribble more. They hate the vultures till there is one, though. They giving flowers, those different roses. Put the pain in the pot, let it stir, let it brew, let them eat, let them take from the language of you. They don't care about a walk in a pair of your shoes. All they want the despair, they don't care if it's true. I found a life all in the sentences. They drown in lights all with the sentencing. I write my down, recite with instruments. They strike guys down and make them instruments of corporations making dividends. I earn for Spotify through DistroKid. They all commodified through prisons. It's quite a difference just the sentence gives. What system is you in? I gotta ask you, who you make the bread for? How they about to tax you? Who they gonna cancel? Who they liable to pass to? Claiming they blessed, now somebody gotta add you. Yeah. Who are these haters of which you speak, dog? Somebody gotta add you. Far as I can see it, we just pick a narrative and that casual. But your sense might change, there ain't nothing but some punctuation. Couple rolls of the dice, that discomfort waiting. We looking around like, man, ain't no others changing. Not me, I like to cook when no oven's baking. That way I always smell what the fuck I'm making. They looking for an image just to run adjacent. Say you living in his image, then I guess he ain't shit. Put more goals on ice than the Gretzky bladed. Ain't you tired of waiting? I'm feeling like I'm Tom Thibodeau. Create the culture, they just dribble more. They hate the vultures till there is one, though. They giving flowers, those different roses. Put the pain in the pot, let it stir, let it brew, let them eat, let them take from the language of you. They don't care about a walk in a pair of your shoes. All they want the despair, they don't care if it's true. Coach of the year, the team is me. The coast is clear to be what I dream to be. Emotions near, but all that mean to me is that emotions near. I got a movement starting, don't approach with cheer. Don't gotta prove to y'all, she got a new apartment. Gotta fuse the spark with I elope with fear. We don't care who in charge. If they don't want the dark, she can't have my heart. Then run these knees to the ground. Tom Tibbs, I don't want these cheap little pounds. Fuck who y'all is. I be in season year round. Can I live? I live. An ironic freeness I found. I'm locked in, and I'm feeling like I'm Tom Thibodeau. Create the culture, they just dribble more. They hate the vultures till there is one, though. They giving flowers, those different roses. Put the pain in the pot, let it stir, let it brew, let them eat, let them take from the language of you. They don't care about a walk in a pair of your shoes. All they want the despair, they don't care if it's true. I let the vision expand, word to Lacey. They wish they could move with this love, word to hatred. When advance get hard, most people return to basic. You're further from peace the moment you start to chase it. My past filled with strife and woe, I wouldn't erase it for the right to blow, for hype and gold to be crooked adjacent. Before the fight can close, in my book of pages, the rules I wrote in it are the ones they gonna play with. Your energy a non-starter, word to Jamal Crawford. No disrespect to Jamal Crawford, but dudes try to hop around behind my back like I don't see it all. Awkward. I get that you afraid you talking to the Godfather. Pound for pound, I'm like if AI played in China. Dude's the type to act rookie but can't escape the minors. Dude's the type to act pussy and never ate vagina. Mwah, I'm chef's kissing it. Still hate a hypocrite more than somebody who doesn't give a shit. Yeah, searching for someone to be consistent with. Everybody switching up, take the script and rip it up when it gets the scenes that they wrote but don't like living in. Far from fearless, but I'm peerless. If the real is back, then motherfucker, I'm the rarest. I'm past the point where their ignorance is endearing. I look you in the eye while I take a flame to this here bridge. Fuck validation at the cost of toxicity. Every second, that's how often thoughts get to me. About to let them go, though, finally got the drop mentally, so let me be. Yeah. I just wanna free my mind, yeah. I don't wanna think too hard, no. I just wanna live my life, yeah. But if you won't play my card, yo, I could be stressed with the best of them. I could be stressed with the best of them.
Look, the God done put his heart in it. Mitchell and Ness with the punches, and by y'all swing, man, I can tell it ain't authentic. The art done been augmented. William Paul Mitchell, these lyrics hit like a lecture. Still a professor at large with it. Still a nigga been spot on, dog. Keep an eye on that in the circle, those ones that get you targeted. Makes the truth it untaunted, but they won't all get it. Spot dog in a circle, target. Forget it, I'm back, listen, you lack vision. It's in a transition, Urkel's turn Urkel and start to act different. My reflection lacks fiction. I seen a jackal tryna hide till I decided to see the good and the bad in it. I feel a type of stress that come with excellence. The purity, refinement through the fires in my regiment. Hey, you know that I'm cold in my element. So periodically they check this alchemist table for evidence. It's stressful.
I just wanna free my mind, yeah. I don't wanna think too hard, no. I just wanna live my life, yeah. But if you want gon' play my card, yo. I could be stressed with the best of them. Best of them. I could be stressed with the best of them. Best of them.
Yo, let me know what you think about that shit. That shit was too tough, bro. I had to write to that shit before I went to sleep. I dead woke up and recorded that shit before I brushed my teeth, nigga. That's how important you are. You understand what I'm saying? You hear that? That's me getting ready to brush my teeth right now. Just wanted to let you know, alright? Let me know how you feel about this shit, though. And if you fuck with it, if you don't, any adjustments you need me to make, my nigga.
Okay, let's try that. Hello? Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that... Okay, I had it set to the wrong thing. I said good morning. What's up? How you guys doing? Or good evening, because it is 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But I just wanted to go ahead and hop on and update you guys. There's really not much to be updated on. I mean, it's just the sideways market. There's only 2 open positions that I probably would take in terms of longing. Now, obviously, we're still holding the head short from up here at 48,460. But there is 2 positions that could be taken. If we do happen to come back down and retest this ABC right here, boom, boom, boom. That is a long position right there. But otherwise, I've just been taking the hedge longs off of this little area right here. So we have the macro ABC right here. And as long as we're above this A, I have been taking my longs. Now, obviously, they've been getting stopped out quite a bit, but it's the only kind of oppositional trade that I have that I can take. H2O, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not going to be on for too long today, probably about 30 minutes to an hour. Like I said, not a whole lot to talk about. Just a sideways market, not too interesting. There was only... I mean, I don't tend to play these time frames, but I mean, you could have caught that short right there. But if you were playing those too tight of a time frames, you probably would have gotten stopped out right here as well. And then the last one that I saw was right here. We had A, we had B, and we had C. That was another position that could have been taken if you are playing those scalp time frames. I don't recommend it, but for some people, it is, it's fun to them. How you guys doing? How you guys handling the market? I mean, it's kind of just kind of pending. Obviously, we have the whole thing going down in China with Evergrande, seeing if that whole thing is going to collapse the market. I hope it does. Hope it does for a little bit. Hopefully nobody gets hurt in the process, but obviously someone's going to lose. Does harmonic EW work? Sure. I mean, the book that I recommend is literally called harmonic Elliott wave. Glad to see you bullish. I'm not bullish. Not in the slightest. My macro is still the same. I'm still calling for 29K. Like I said, I mean, there's plenty of ways you can play out. Obviously, once we get down to about 36 to 38K, that's when I'm going to be on, not necessarily the bullish side, but I will be looking for longs to hold for the long term. Obviously, 38K being the target for this bigger ABC right here. Not bullish yet. I'm just doing my due diligence, even though we have that short open and it's in some good profit. Right now we're up about 3,300. I'm still taking the hedge longs because they need to be taken. If you have an ABC that is bullish, there's no reason not to. Is using harmonic EW your main strategy? I mean, yes and no. I just took that book and I simplified it. What are your views on the NASDAQ? You talking about like the actual NASDAQ or the US 100? Someone sent me a message today about that. Apparently we've reached our target. My target was somewhere around like the 230s in terms of like the actual NASDAQ. A while ago, I kind of put in this this guesstimation that we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going up, and we were looking to make a larger push. And the target for that is 206 from a 1.618 standpoint. But obviously, in bullish markets, it can go a little bit past it. So, I mean, 230, 250, that's probably what I would call a top. This is a pina colada vape. That's what I'm puffing on. How's it going, Kite? Been waiting for another stream. Yeah, like I said, I mean, unless there's something to talk about, I really don't hop on stream all that much. To me, it's just like it's wasted noise. If there's nothing to talk about, I don't wanna be on stream. But I'm doing pretty good. I've just been helping my sister out around the house, and then I started my intermittent fasting 3 days ago. I've been sticking to it. I haven't weighed myself yet, but I can notice I'm feeling a little bit better. Do you see 30K playing out or 38K? Like I said, 29K is the magical number. I'm not, putting all my eggs in one basket and calling for one specific level and then massive bounce. Fish, stop, buddy. Like I said, in terms of ABC, we had the ABC going down, ABC going up, and we're looking for the third push to the downside. Eventually, that's going to bottom out. Like I said, once we get down to 38K, I'll start looking for long positions, any ABCs that open up in terms of long potential. But 29K, that's what I'm shooting for. If the market's bullish enough, we'll find support around 38, 36. If we're kind of on the fritz, but still bullish, push closer down to 29K. Or we could put in a lower low. I'm fine with that as well. Actually, that's better for me, actually. Obviously, you get a lower buy-in point. That's obviously always a better thing. But I'm not really calling for a specific number at the moment. But in terms of recognizable pattern, we can call this an Adam and Eve. We have a V-shaped recovery and maybe we get a rounded bottom and then we shoot up for the next go. In terms of the next push to the upside, macro-wise, I think it's going to start off probably around January after the final dump. I would probably shoot for like around 80 to 90K. Like I said, I mean, this could extend itself outwards for another year or two, which I'm fine by. I'm absolutely fine by that. You have videos showing your strategy? Of course, there's hundreds of videos. And thinking about trying intermittent fasting. So I've done it before for a long period. I think the longest I went was like 5 months. And when I started the intermittent fasting, I weighed about 185. And then when I ended it, I weighed about 160. I mean, it's only 25 pounds, but obviously when you're that size, each pound is a lot more. But it's not just about the weight loss. It's about like the hormonal balance. Just it puts you in kind of like a hunter-gatherer mode. It feels like you got better eyesight, faster thinking. It's a really great thing. I had high energy. And the best part about it is like you don't have to watch what you eat. You just have to watch when you eat. Any other diet that's like, you have to calorie count, macro count, you have to search through every single food on the shelves just to find out what you can eat. It's too much work to keep consistent with. Short now? If you're talking about like short right now, I mean, do what you want. I'm not an advisor, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't take a short right now. But am I in a short right now? Yes, I am. I've been in a short ever since this ABC top right here. So we caught this top, and then we caught this top right here. So we shorted, and then we took profits right here, and now I'm in a short from right here, and I'm hoping for a little bit more downside. My target's 38K. I'll walk away with 5,207 if we hit that. Where do you see the logic in all these other people calling for 100K BTC by the end of the year? I mean, can it happen? Of course. Like, I'm not denying it can't happen. To me, it doesn't matter, personally. We could sit in a sideways range for 5 years. I don't care. There's plenty of money to be made. Am I on checking Theta? No, it's not on my list, but I'll give it a little look-sees. There's not a whole lot to read in this chart. I mean, Theta had like a beautiful ABC top over here. ABC. And then had a beautiful ABC bottom right here. So, I mean, if we get back down to like $3.82, I mean, that would be a good long region for Theta. Or, I mean, if everything's going to dump and it keeps dumping, this would be your macro ABC right here. You'd be looking to pick up a long once it comes back above $3.50. Once again, you had a beautiful ABC top right here. Why'd I short that tiny top? I was playing the smaller time frames, I will admit. But the market was just getting thin, and we were already kind of past our target point. So I shorted this top right here, this top right here, this top right here, and I just kept going. So right here we had A, B, C, and I shorted that top right there. What's this new place I'm at? I've been here for a while. I just switched rooms. I have heard of Hex. I, I'm not really into it though. It's stupid. Only because some bull runs happen at the end of the year in the past. I think it's moving sideways between 20K and 50K is more realistic. 37K is a good DCA buy-in point. Kite, how you been, man? Haven't seen you stream in a while. It's been about a week. It hasn't been that long. I've been doing good. Like I said, I mean, I like streaming. It's just, I mean, if there's nothing exciting happening in the market, there's just no reason for me to jump on. You know, sometimes I'll get in that mood where I'll stream for a week no matter what. You just gotta wait for it. Do you really only use Elliott wave theory? Yes and no. So it's not technically Elliott wave theory in terms of like I'm predicting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then ABCs down. I'm just looking for ABCs in the market. Because to me, the most important thing that when you're a trader, not an investor, but a trader, the only thing that matters is a consistent way of finding an entry point, an exit point if it goes wrong, or an exit point if it goes right. If you have those three things and you can do so on a replicatable basis, that's the key to trading. Are you afraid of the tether FUD like Ryan? Like I'm cognizant of it. Like I'm not storing my entire portfolio in tether. But my thing is they've been here for a long time. Been here through a bear market. If they are a fraud, they're a pretty damn good one, and they're probably going to be around for a lot longer. What time frames do you use? You'll typically find me on like the 15 minute or the hourly. Do you only establish your position once, or are you adding somewhere? I usually segment. So, like, I could have just held on to this short from up here and then added right here. But to me, the way that I play, I don't tend to do that. So I'll take the short, I'll take my profit, take the short. Once it comes down to my next target point, I'll take my profit, so on and so on. What up, Kite? Did you struggle when you first got into trading? What made the difference? Yes. So part of the struggle comes from you being a monkey and your primary goal is dopamine. So obviously you get dopamine by simply just taking a trade, whether it's a win or a loss. But most importantly, like the amount of dopamine that you get from having 10 different indicators and having to learn them and, see setups on this one. It gives you a certain sense of gratification, aka dopamine. So you keep jumping from indicator to indicator, hoping that it's like the next best thing. But the problem is you. All right, any indicator you can make work statistically. I believe so. That's why I just chose to like stray away from indicators in general. And what really made the difference is when I stopped looking at the market from, I need to predict where it's going to go. I mean, people come in my chat and they're like, bro, it's going here, it's going there. I don't care. I follow the money. If the money shows me a setup for a short, if it shows me a setup for a long, I follow the money. Obviously, I got targets where it's predicting, but it's an assumption. And I'm just hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. So when I started looking at trading from a mathematical level, instead of predicting, but using statistics to be replicatable in the market, that's what made the difference. making the risk reward calculator, understanding full Kelly, stuff like that. Do you use volume profiles? I have in the past, but what you tend to find is if you're good at charting, where you would like to insert your capital or exit your capital, typically lines up with the volume profiles anyways. So, I mean, there's no use in really, like, I guarantee you, like, if we look at the volume profiles, we're going to see a huge spike right here. We're going to see a huge spike right here. And we're going to see a huge spike right here. People are just targeting local lows. That's how it goes. With your strategy, how realistic is it to trade full-time or make 5K per month with a 10 to 15K account? Not that realistic. Like I told you, I mean, like, if you are just starting out, the best I would hope for is about 15% win ratio. And then if you're hitting 9 restored ratios, you're going to be breaking into profit, but not by much. If you can get it to around 20, 22%, that's when you're going to have a better time with it. But at that, like, the most that you should be expecting from a trading account is about 10% of its value per month. So if you want to be making $5,000 to hopefully pay your bills every single month from trading, I would say you need at least a $100,000 account. Now, you could do more. All right, we started this challenge account back in March, and we've gotten it up to about 45, 50K. All right, so I mean, if the market's in the right conditions, you can make a lot of money. But you should never expect that kind of money. So if you can only expect 10% from your portfolio every single month, you need 100K, 10%, that's 10,000 a month. All right, so that covers your 5K of needs for your bills every single month. So why do you need the other 5K? Well, you want it to go back into the account to make it hopefully compound. That way, later on, you don't need as much percentage from your portfolio in order to pay your bills. If you're pulling out what you make every single month, your account's going to be stagnant. It's going to be floating. There's no room for growth there. Where's the dog? No, he's under my desk. He's sleeping right now. He's being good. Do you always target the 0.441? Yes. Except for, like, you get some level of experience in the market where you could say, okay, the trend is too strong for us to really dip down that low at the moment. So, like, take right here, for example. All right, we had this ABC. We had A going up, and then B, and then C right here, and then we caught the top off of this smaller ABC right here. So, why didn't I target the 441? All right, I said the trend was too strong, so I'll just be targeting these local lows right here. So once we got down to this local low, I took my profit, and then I went on vacation for a little bit. I did not catch this long right here. Going to zero, going to the moon? I don't know. Hope it goes to zero first. That'd be awesome. Do you feel like the more experience you get, the more your emotions tie with correct assumption? Not necessarily. It doesn't make you more correct. It's a different feeling, because the objective of any trader is to remove yourself from the equation. You let the code, your trading plan, aka, run the entire show. So my trading plan is downtrend, uptrend, downtrend equals a long. Uptrend, downtrend, uptrend equals a short. If I get involved with the process won't work as well. Because you go, oh, I already got stopped out 3 times trying to short this top, blah, blah, blah. And then you end up, missing the trade. How do you know the trend is strong? I mean, well, goddamn, just look at it. You have a straight rocket ship to the moon. If that's not a strong trend, I don't know what's a better definition. You know, if you have like a lopsided trend like this, yeah, that's not a very strong trend. You can target the 0.441. When you have a literal straight line to the sky, that is a strong trend. Do you care about the whack off at all? Not really. It's not something I really concern myself with. What are your best tips for spot trading or swing trading? Patience. It's really just about patience and understanding the end goal. Because obviously with swing trading, you're going for much, much larger moves. And yeah, sometimes they have extremely quick payouts. But sometimes it's like this, where you take a short position and you're hoping to get out here. And already it has been 10 days. Most people get antsy. And they'll exit their short because they go, it's taking too long. That's the name of the game with swing trading. This stuff takes a while. So that's my number one tip. How do you enter short on ABC waves? You wait for the C to form and then break below the B? Nah, not break below the B, break below the A. So take right here, for example. All right, we had an uptrend. And then we had a downtrend, and then we had an uptrend. So people go, how do you know when the C has formed? Well, if you had an uptrend that broke into a downtrend and you put in a higher high, then you can assume that you are now in your C wave. Once you come back below the local high of the A, that's when you would enter your position. What tether do you think is the safer option? I don't quite get the question. Are you talking about like what stable coin? I mean, USDC would be a better option, my personal opinion. Okay, do you literally take every good R&R ABC? Yes. So if we reverse from here and headed back up, you wouldn't take any profits from the short at all? Nope. That's why we're taking the hedge longs. How do you long your strategy? It's just the exact opposite. All right, so you have an ABC to the downside, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. As long as we're above this level, I'm long. That's my hedge. Right here, really good example. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. We put in a lower low. As soon as we come back above, you enter long. Now, whether you choose to just take the 441 or hold for a longer swing position, that's up to you if you think that's a possibility. It's always up to the user. Right here was one of the really good macro positions to be in, which I did catch, but I didn't catch the exact bottom. Right here we had downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. We put in a lower low. We came back above it. As long as we stay above it, you stay long. We look at the bull market from the beginning of the year. We had downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. As long as we stay above the A, you long. Right here we had downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. As long as we stay above the A, you're long. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. As long as we're above the A, you're long. I mean, shit, you can go to stocks. All right, look at AMD. We can go to AMD on the daily. Right here, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. You put in a lower low. Once you come back above it, you're long. Right here, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. We come back above it, you're long. Right here, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Once you come back above it, you're long. This one was kind of lopsided, but same thing. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, you're long. Right here. I mean, shit. I don't. You can make some serious money with this. You're long. Right there, too. With this strat, you'll be wrong so many times? Absolutely. Absolutely. I ain't saying that. But it's not that you're wrong, it just doesn't work out. Right here. I call from right here. You don't need any other information. None of this could have been formed. Right? You have an uptrend and a downtrend. So you wait for the uptrend, you put in a higher high, you go short. Right there. If you were playing scalping, you would have made your money, you would have got out right there, and it would have went to the upside. Now, obviously, I was looking for macro short positions, so I was holding on to them. I wasn't taking immediate profits once we hit the 441. For me, I was taking the top to the bottom of that B and targeting that 441, which is how I got the original target for this. So once I hit that short, I held it because I was expecting the longer 441. I set my take profit to 43K because I did not think it was going to flash crash. So that's why I got a way better buyback price. That's lucky, I guess. Statistically, from my trading log, you'll be wrong about 80% of the time. Why do I use Hakanishi candles? They look prettier. It makes me it's easier to identify the trend with Hakanishi candles. What if the C doesn't make a higher high or a lower low? Very rarely does it do that, but sometimes it does. I'm trying to find an example. I just don't see it. I can't see a single one. I don't know if I'm blind. I mean, if you're looking at it from like the BTC USDT chart from Bybit, we did not put in a lower low here. All right, so that ABC wouldn't make sense if you were just looking at this chart. But what we did do is an ABC flat correction, but we had an ABC right here, which is what I got my entry off of. How's your trade journaling going? I haven't really paid attention to it much recently. I did it for about a month and a half, got the statistics. I really failed to understand how BTC isn't down so much more with the traditional markets tanking? I don't know. 20% win rate, dang, so why not do the opposite? What do you mean by do the opposite? Tell you what, you do the opposite. See how your account pays out. What biases / confluence do you use to prior to? I just look for ABC and then short or long. If we're above or below the A, that's all I look for. If I had an 80% win ratio, I'll be rich. You can tell me how to do that with getting the high restored ratio trades that I do get. Let me know. Any long idea right now? Yeah. We talked about it. We have an ABC to the downside. And I have been taking my hedge trades. If we're above this level, I'm long. What's the book you used to learn about ABC and Elliott again? It was Harmonic Elliott Wave by Ian Copsley. Just that easy. Stop losing. Just win. Yep, I've been using 0.5% stop losses on BTC. What's the success rate with the ABC strategy? Before I stopped the trade journaling, it was 22%. With a 9 restored ratio average, I think you only need 10% to break even. Anything above that's profit. Do you need 2 trading accounts to put on a hedge trade? If you're using inverse perpetual, yes. If you're using USDT, no. You can have a short and a long open at the same time. Is your stop loss at the peak of the C? No. Your stop loss is up to you. Do you use the lower time frames for the ABC strategy? Sometimes, but really, I don't feel the need to. 15 minutes good enough for me. Because the thing is like right here, for example, all right, this trade has taken 10 days to work itself out so far, and it's probably going to keep going that way. All right. This is on the hourly time frame, and you can see this clear as day. Uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. And if you're targeting based off of the larger structure that it's versed against, you know, depending on what your stop loss is, that's going to determine what your restored ratio is. But already, this is a 26 restored ratio trade. Now, this is one of the lucky ones where I enter once and I don't have to enter again for it to already be working out quite well. It's not always like that, but sometimes it is. So, for example, if I got stopped out 5 times, that's no biggie. That's no biggie whatsoever. And once we reach our target of 38K, that's going to be about a 40 restored ratio trade. $40 times what you're willing to lose. That means I can get stopped out 20 times and still make double. Now, obviously, a little bit less than double, because obviously, as your account, diminishes, the amount of money that you're putting into trades I started vaping because don't start vaping because I'm vaping. Why do you have your chart on log scale? For macro timeframes, I like it because it keeps everything symmetrical based on percentage. So on a linear graph, when you get up into the larger digits, you need a larger candle to equal the same amount of percentage as a smaller candle. So that way on log, everything is the same. Every candle that is the same size is the same percentage, no matter if it started at $1 or if it was at, 100K. It's just for the sake of symmetry. What makes 38K the target? It is the in-between region between the 0.382 and the 0.5. There's always going to be some little stand head in the comments going, I draw my fibs backwards, but it's because I used my fibs for Elliott wave, trying to predict the 1.618. That's just how I do it. But the entire structure right here, we have this larger ABC of A going up, B going down, C going up. All right. You take all three trends involved, you target between the 0.5 and the 0.382, and it's at about 37.6, 38K if you want to call it a round number. That's definitely one way to go, Daza. Do you see a long setup on BCH? Yes, I do. So you have the larger ABC here. And right here you have A, B, C. So you have that secondary one, and then you have this one right here. That is if we put it, yeah, we did put it in the lower low. Do I move stops? Never. Am I still on a diet? No. I recently got back on one. Just intermittent fasting. Have I heard about Feg? No, I have not heard about Fig. So no Coke? I can drink Coke between 2 and 6. But after that, I can't have any more. It's just water for me. What was preventing me before was like I just didn't have any water in the house. But now we got like 4 cases, so I'm good to go. What's my scalping strategy? It's just looking for smaller ABCs and then taking the 0.441 off of those. Like, for example, I forgot which one we hit, but I did get one of the ABCs over here. I think it was either this one or this one. I can't quite remember, but we did take a long off of that. And I just took profit of the 0.441. I think it might have been this one. I think we made like 1K, which was good. Because, I mean, we lost quite a bit. I mean, we hit some really good shorts off of this on multiple different coins. But I lost here, and I lost here. So to hit that long did supplement some of the loss. During August, I think my account was down like 2.5K. But then you hit one short, and you make back $7,000. So then you're net positive 4.5K. And now we're up 3,000 in the next short. And that's the whole point of it. You know, you stick to the strategy and you do what you do. You take some losses and then hopefully make the big wins and make it back. The thing that keeps people from winning in the market is thinking that winning in the market is what makes you money. The point of the market's not to win, it's to take educated gambles over a long period of time, statistically. Trying to predict where the market's going to go is just asinine. Well, you have my wife's son, technical and analysis. Oh, I'm glad you're on that channel now. I guess you can call me a swing trader. I don't really focus a whole lot on scalps, except for like the time's right. I mean, like when we're in like a aggressive sideways market, like over here, there's plenty of positions to be taken throughout the entire thing. You know, so many little tiny ABCs all over the place. This was one of the really good ones. Uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. Here you had downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. We caught that one. There's a time and a place. And it's also like, that's the cool thing about it. You can like adjust it to whatever your schedule is. If you're busy at work all the time, doesn't mean it doesn't make much sense to be taking trades that you have to watch constantly. The amount of times that I'm on my screen watching a trade nowadays is zip nada. You set up your alerts. If a line gets crossed, most of the time I already have a conditional set up. You know, all that good stuff. You make it as stress-free as possible. Because like I said, the one thing that's going to determine whether or not you're successful with any strategy, it doesn't have to be ABC, it could be any strategy, is if you find a strategy that statistically is going to work over a long period of time, but doesn't have a high win rate, you biologically are not going to be compatible with it off the start. Because there's something about losing that your body can't take. Even if it's a small loss, it upsets you. So when I lose 15 times in a row, I keep going. You remove yourself from the equation. Because the market doesn't care about you. You got any tips for taking off? I don't want to use $100, so I started with $50, but use $25 risk per trade. I don't know, man. Look for the correct patterns. I always preference that by saying like the $100 portfolio that I made a crazy amount off of was during a very specific time. That was like right when we broke 20K. You know, we took one trade at like 16,000 or something like that off a double bottom for the first trade. But after that, it was nothing but breakout trades. When you have broken an all-time high and you're in an aggressive bull market, all you have to do is take out breakout trade after breakout trade after breakout trade after breakout trade. It's easy to make money. Everybody can look like a pro. So when the market hands you a golden goose like that, you take it. Like I said, you know, don't expect a whole lot from trading, but there will be times when the market is just that good and you can make a whole lot of money. And as long as you do your due diligence and you now spend that money wisely, you can make a lot more. Could you show your long and short strategy one last time? I got a pen and notebook ready this time. All right. If you're willing to write it down, I'll do it one more time. I'm like a broken record at this point. But all right. Here we go. For longing, your chart's going to look like this. You have a downtrend, you have an uptrend, and you have a downtrend. All right, now if we come back above the original A, or back above the original downtrend, that's a long from that point forward. Now, depending on how you're playing it, if you're just playing it from a scalp level, All right, you're going to be looking to take all three trends involved with the 0.382 to 0.5 region and take profit there. Now, depending on how you have your account set up through the restored ratio calculator, will determine what kind of percentage you need on your stop loss. All right. Now, for shorting, it's the exact opposite. You have an uptrend, you have a downtrend, you have an uptrend. If you come back above the original high from the first uptrend, that is your point to short from there on out. Right here, you would short from that point. Set up your stop loss above that line and let it go to the 0.382 to the 0.5 region. Everybody always asks, how many times do you re-enter after getting stopped out? As many times as it takes. If you are still at that region, there's nothing that can be said. It is still there. If you're not taking the trade, that's on you. I take every single trade that is on that line. Now, sometimes I might miss a few and it might be in my favor. Sometimes it might not. Maybe I'll miss a trade, depending on what's happening in my life. But majority of the time, will take every single trade. I've taken every single time that we have gone above this line. I've taken every single long. I think I've lost like $1,000 doing so, but that's my hedge trade. That's what I'm sticking to. And even if we lose all those hedges and then it goes down to 38K and I make that 5K, yeah, it does suck, but it's better safe than sorry. Now, if we do happen to get the chance to come back down to this region, I could long again. We did have a very nice ABC right here that I did not take advantage of. Don't know what I was doing at the time. I did not take advantage of it. I've been sleeping, I don't know. And just practice finding the ABCs. The hardest part for people seems to be like the prediction. And like I said, it's very easy. All right. All you do is you look for an uptrend that breaks into a downtrend. And if your chart looks like this, all right, don't get all, FOMO and try to short now. Wait. See if it puts in a higher high. And then now you have a dedicated point to short from. If the price does happen to come back down below that line, you short. But just go through the chart, practice looking at them. If you're not on Hakanishi, I do recommend it. Hakanishi, it makes everything in terms of color based on trend. So, you can go to regular stocks. Like let's go to Apple. Let's see if Apple's got any ABCs within the charts. Okay, well, it looks like I already did some work on Apple. Right here, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Target the 0.382 to the 0.5 region. Take your profit. Get out of the market. All right. Right here, we had an uptrend. Or even right here, look. Uptrend. Downtrend. Uptrend. Get your money out of the market. Now, obviously, everybody goes, well, what about right here? I wouldn't have gotten my money out. Well, I mean, it's all depending on how you look at it. If you look at the market, you go, well, the market's sitting super thin. There's not a whole lot of sideways price actions. It's just a straight upwards shot. So, I mean, you will be looking at the smaller time frames. But, I mean, you could have caught it from right here. It's a very small time frame. I do get that, but you could have got it. And this is what I'm talking about, predictions right here. So you see how like the market put in a downtrend, it put in an uptrend, and it looks like we're about to go down and test for a lower low. So like from a planning standpoint, if I wanted to get into Apple, all right, I can designate that this is one of the spots I would like to get in. If we do happen to put in a lower low and come back above this level, I can insert some of my capital, and as long as we stay above that level to a certain degree, I will remain in the market. Easy said than done. So, you can set up a stop loss of 2%, whatever you want. And then you can say, I want to hold on from that point, or whatever you want to do. It's up to you. We can look at Tesla, see if Tesla's got any ABCs. So we had an ABC top over here. We had uptrend, we had downtrend, we had uptrend. It was a little bit of a rocky road, but you would have got there. Fell down. Right here, you got an ABC top right there. Like I said, the faster the drop, the more thin you're going to be playing, of course. So when you got a massive drop like this and it's very thin, you got to kind of search for them. You had an ABC right there. And you go like, well, what if I would have lost? I would have lost right here, would have lost right here, blah, blah, blah. You could have lost like 5 or 6 times trying to long this downtrend on any ABC that you saw. Obviously, the smaller the time frame you're playing will indicate like how many times you might actually hit that. But you hit it one time, hit that long position. You know, you're rocking with like maybe like a 1.5, 1.6% stop loss. And now you're holding on to Tesla. Already, you're at a 25 restored ratio. So if you got stopped out 5 or 6 times, I really don't think it matters when the profit is that large on the other side of the coin. The whole point of this is when you're wrong, you're wrong. That's all right. But when you're right, you're really, really right. Like I said, it's not about being right in terms of like, I predicted this. It's just you set yourself up in an advantageous position that if things did happen to go your way, they really, really went your way. Oh yeah, we rocking with that Windows 11. Microsoft's just soaking up all my data. I was joining the stream. I found your channel 2 days back while searching for market cipher tutorials and came to know that you're not using it. Which indicators are you using now? None. I do from time to time. Like I'll check the daily MACD, but that's about it. The reason why you really don't find me on the RSI anymore is because whenever there's an ABC, I would say like 85% of the time there's going to be a divergence. So if 85% of the time there's going to be a divergence, regardless, I really don't think you got to look at it. But daily MACD crosses are generally where it's at. If you spot trade daily MACD crosses, you're really not going to have a bad time. Especially if you kind of, broaden your horizons a little bit. And instead of using 12 and 26, use 24 and 52, just kind of like give more confirmation to the flips. Right here was like your first flip in the bull market. This was your second. This was your third. You could have traded those. You would have been pretty well off. I play poker for a living, so your betting strategy makes sense. Where can I learn more about technical side of this strategy? You can either watch all my live streams back, or you can pick up Harmonic Elliott Wave by Ian Copsley. When you lose, do you jump back in with a conditional, or do you jump condition one time per time frame? So like for example, all right, with the long hedge, all right, if I get stopped out, I'll throw the conditional back in there. That's what I'll do. Do you use the top of the C as stop loss placement? No. So your stop loss is determined by you and your risk tolerance. So for me, for example, I prioritize huge wins. And I'm willing to supplement getting stopped out constantly for those huge wins. If you don't really like to, keep getting stopped out, you can up your stop loss, but your wins aren't going to be as substantial. But by willing to lose money faster, you can up your leverage. It's all done through the restored calculator over here. So say, for example, my account's $10,000, all right? And let's say with this setup right here, my portfolio at risk, I'm using 4% of my portfolio as margin, and I'm using 25% of that 4%, which is 1% of the whole, as risk. So whenever I lose a trade, I'm going to be losing $100. All right, so if I have a 2% stop loss, I'm using 13x leverage because I want the money that I lose to be equivalent to 2% in the opposite direction. But if I have a 0.5% stop loss, which is what I use, I can use 50x leverage. I'm still going to lose the same amount, but I'm willing to lose it faster for the advantage of being able to make more if the market does go my way. It's just my personal preference. Now, obviously on altcoins where the volatility is a lot higher, I will raise it to 1% because also the percentage gains are a lot higher as well. Because if I have a 0.5% stop loss and you have a 2%, all right, you're playing more on the safer side in terms of like you don't want to get stopped out as easy. But I'm going to make 4 times as much money as you if we're using the same exact setup in terms of what the account value is, how much of the margin, how much of the risk we're using. At what point will you give up on a trade, i.e. a short, if/when it's clearly gone too far down already? Are you talking about like if I'm in a winning trade and it's taking too long, but the profit's good, will I like just take the profit and run? Or are you talking about like if I'm trying to, like, let's say for example, we had this short setup, and instead of diving off a cliff like it did, what if it, did one of these where like it goes down and then it goes up and then it goes down and then it goes up and then goes down and then it goes up, it goes down. Are you talking about that? Because for me, I'll take every single one. All right, the only time that I'll stop taking the short is if we continue upwards. What time frame do you recommend trading with a small account? I always recommend sticking to the larger time frames, 15-minute, hourly. That's what I tend to find best works for me. Can I show my buyback position? I'm not supposed to, but there you go. I'm in a short from 48,415, the very top of this ABC structure, and I'm going to be holding it until $38,000. There you go. Hi, Kite. Long time no live stream. It's been about a week. I mean, like, hey, it's been a pretty boring week. Like, there's not a lot going on. Every time one of these, like, nice little dumps happen, I get excited. And then it just ends up popping back up. I meant the closer it gets to the 0.441. Very rarely. Like I said, if the market's really not in a good position in terms of like a fast structure like this, I'm not targeting the 0.441. But there's very rare times where I'm not going to hold until I'll take hedge positions to secure the profit, but I won't exit the trade prematurely. Looking forward to seeing your videos every day. Trust me, I love doing it. Like, I love live streaming. I love sharing the information. But, the problem with it is what I do, at least from my perspective, what I do is so simple. You know, it's uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. You know, simple risk management, make more than you're losing. It's so simple that when it's constantly repeated, I sound like a broken record. And to be able to do that every single day doesn't make much sense. Like, if I had like a really complicated indicator and like I could talk for 10 hours about it, just to be able for you to like have a simple perspective, I mean, yeah, I could do that. But I try to keep it as simple as possible. So flooding with live streams is just not conducive to a healthy mind. Well, on that note, I told you guys there's going to be about 30 minutes to an hour that I was going to be live streaming. It's been about an hour and 12 minutes. I'm probably going to hop off once we hit the hour and 30 mark. So that's about 18 minutes away. You just need to be robot. Correct. And somebody sent me a Discord message showing us this indicator that they made that highlights the ABCs. And it looked pretty good. Hopefully that they share that within the group, because that'll be awesome. Are you bear or bullish? I'm priority bearish, but I am taking hedge longs when the moments arise. Can you explain again how I can have both long and short on the same currency? Last time I lost quite a bit because they merged them both. So if you're using inverse perpetual, yes, you will have that problem, because when you long something and then you short something, it will cancel each other out. But with USDT perpetual, you can have a short open and a long open at the same time. I mean, at what point where you decide it's too late to enter the trade? Because it's really subjective. But for me, I would say, like, if we're down to here, like, let's say the short position should have been opened the moment we cross that. If we're already down to here, it's not a good idea. Because at that point, look at this. Right? If I open up a short right here, I can have my stop loss at what I determine is best for me, 0.5. But then if I open the trade right here, in order to maintain the same exact level of safety and get out at the same exact point, I now bump it up to a 2.16 risk-reward ratio. I mean, stop loss. So let's say at this bottom right here, all right, that's a 37 versus an 8. Almost 5 times the difference in the amount of profit gained just by that small of a price action change. So that's why it's so damn important that if you are going to do this, you do it right. Because the better that you are at maintaining those entries, the smaller the stop losses you can get. The smaller the stop loss you can get, the higher risk reward ratio that you can get. AKA, the more money you'll make. You also work with support and resistance? Yeah, I mean, technically, because I'm basically using this as resistance, if you want to call it that. What is the best way to determine how many X leverage? The restored calculator. It's in the description of the video. You can take your portfolio size, the amount of margin that you have versus the risk, and then you can put in your stop loss. You want to make sure that your risk is between like 0.25% to 1%. If you do have a smaller account and you're willing to be more risky, I mean, shit, go for it. But don't expect to be a millionaire. And then I'll pump out your leverage. Your leverage is based off your stop loss. So if I want to have a 25% loss when price action moves 2%, so 13 times 2 roughly equals 25. I know it equals 26, but technically, because of the contract size used, it will be the exact level that you need. Thanks. Have a good night, man. Kite, benefit of trading inverse perpetual. So when I do start feeling like we're at a bottom, like I said, that's when we get closer to 29K. I will start transitioning some of my Bybit portfolio into inverse perpetual. Reason being, inverse perpetual obviously has the upside of not using USDT, which, you know, depending on what your opinion of it is, whether or not it's a fraud. So not having your money in USDT obviously can be a good thing for some people. As well as that, if you are thinking that the market is going to move up from that point on, not maybe a blast off, but maybe move up gradually from that point there on, it's more beneficial to have your portfolio at inverse perpetual, because not only are you going to be making money off of the longs that you take, the portfolio itself will grow as well. So it's just a win-win. Do you use moving averages at all? No, not really. Like I said, I don't really use indicators. The only one that I'll really check is the MACD daily. That's about it. Everything else is ABC. Been a while since I caught your live stream. Do you still stream for hours? Not today. Like I said, I'll be off here in about 10 minutes. It's only been about an hour and 30. I don't really use the RSI much anymore nowadays. Like I said, whenever you see an ABC setup, most of the time there's going to be a divergence correlated to it. So if most of the time there's going to be a divergence, it doesn't really make sense to check for it. If you're at a lower level of trading, it might be, you know, it might make your brain feel better because there might be more confluence with what you're seeing. That could be it. But like, for example, right here. All right, we had a higher high and we had like a slightly higher high, but you could call this exaggerated bearish divergence right here. Or if we go to the 15-minute and we look at that same setup, that's definitely a divergence. All right, you can see we put in a higher high, but we got a significantly lower high on the RSI. And it's going to be like that the majority of the time. So if it's going to be like that the majority of the time, does it make sense to really always, you know, have more on your charts? I don't really personally think so. I mean, you can go, all right, well, we're moving up in this uptrend and we're putting in higher high after higher high. But eventually, you can see we're putting in lower highs on the RSI. So you could say, all right, I want to watch out for shorts. I mean, I get that. But at the same time, I really don't think, for me personally, it's just not conducive. Hey, with your strategy, what is the most losses you took in a row? I think like 10 to 15, probably. What are your thoughts on a 3-month ABC upwards continuation? I don't personally think it's going to happen, but I got my hedges. Yeah, that was the RSI at 125. Now, after we put in this third wave to the downside, I do think there's going to be a ABC uptrend continuation. Because you're talking about the entire bull market as a whole, which, yeah, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. We have a gigantic uptrend that, comparatively has only been in a downtrend for a little bit. We're looking for either an ABC flat correction or maybe just a traditional ABC, and then we're looking for an ABC push. And then this is where most of the market's going to take a shit on itself once we come back below. Yeah, you could say that, average consumer. Like I said, I don't really use the RSI. I really don't even use the MACD. I'm just looking at ABCs. You can play a macro level, you can play a micro level. It's all up to you. And over here you had A moving to the downside, you have B moving to the upside, C moving to the downside. Once you come back above, you go long. Right here you got the same old thing. Long. And you just look at this past the 2018 bull market. What do you see? You got A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. It's like clockwork. And it's really, it really sucks too. Because, I mean, I really didn't have this level of perspective in the past. I just made things too complicated, and that's what kind of made me suffer. Focus too much on the news. What update is coming out for what coin. Institutional investors. Institution. The institutional money's coming in. You don't know about that. It's all ridiculous. Yeah, of course, it has an influence on things, but you're freaking out too much. You act like it's gonna affect everything immediately. The coins that I mostly hodl is basically all Monero. Monero, Numer, basic attention token. And obviously, I got my regular hodls, BTC, ETH. So you don't think B is complete in the monthly? I think B is complete in the monthly. Oh, no. No, I don't. No. I thought you were talking about this B right here. We have A, we have B. This is the tiny, if this is it, this is the tiniest C that I've ever seen in my life. Comparatively. Right here, I can understand. All right, 36, 38K. If it wants to end there, it can end there. But like I said, I mean, the closer that we get to 29, 30K, the better. Are your entries based on closures or wicks? Wicks, real-time price action. Right, we're going to start saying goodbye. It's 1:26 into the not the podcast, but the live stream. And I'll start loading up a song. Marlon Craft just came out with his new album, so I'll be playing that. Check him out if you guys like him. It's not for everybody, but he's pretty cool. Thanks for your time, Kyle. I don't know why my name's Kyle, but thank you. I appreciate it. See, man, thank you very much. Thank you as well. Good luck on the short. Thank you for the stream. Thank you. Oh boy, we're gonna get the death stare. I don't know. Maybe not today. Thanks for the information. Appreciate you. You as well. Take care. Take care as well, Yusuf. Heretic. Have a good night. Red, blue, green. You have a good one as well. Kyle, Crypto. Johnny Crypto. Francis, peace. Brother. Thanks, Austin. Thank you. Eric, thank you. Also, if you guys want something to watch on Hulu, there's a series called 9 Perfect Strangers. All the episodes are out. So if you want something to binge, go watch that. About like a psychedelic retreat. It's pretty cool. Is Kite your real name? Yeah. That's what all the gym teachers call me. Hey, Kite. Get over here. Why do you suck so much at PE? I don't know, man. I don't like running. Ain't my thing. Because whenever I was trying to run, you always get those PE teachers. Because like one day, like I don't know what got into me, but like I just ran like 40 laps. Probably ran like 6 miles that day. And one of the PE teachers was like, "You should run track." And I was like, "No. No." All right, guys. I hope you have a good night or a good day, wherever you're at. And keep on trucking. Hopefully the market goes our way soon. But we'll do one of these. Bye!
Legend of 10 than a meme to a million. Already won the more than that, feel like I got $1 billion. If I had it in real life, I'd try to feed a lot of children and architect infrastructure to defeat all of the villains. It ain't even about the money, the most of them is insecurities. Look at these assholes, 20 deep and all they care about is pictures. We call them mob shallow, but can't judge no one their egos all they have though. Yeah, seeing previews of consequences. Reading reviews and on the fences. We knows and all the guests, it's all a lesson, right? Living in that space that ain't wrong, but it's less than right. Shit. And nothing less than man. If there's a God, I'm not sure about his lesson plan. Fucked with him early, but yo, I'm less and less a fan. Like when he got too big, he lost his message, damn. Guess that becomes the most our favorite artist. Game ain't for the weak, and dudes is looking like the faint of heart. Censor in my world and always come with less than they depart with. Knowledge to the game, I say when they ask where they should charge it. I dumb it up, make that esoteric digestible. Series of fake shows, their whole career to 5 festival. Human like y'all, but I'll be damned if I'm less than you. Confident, just don't gotta puff out my chest for dudes. It's kinda cold when the wind blows, huh? complex when you thought it, but when it's told, it's simple, huh? You keep your mouth closed, your hood got that zip code, huh? But when it come to yelling lies, you never tiptoe, huh? They like it's just a song, ask what I want. But the way you write say something about you like an Android font. These other guys feel me, they just don't have the balls to live it. And I'm all forgiven, but it ain't all forgiven. This is for the days and the times and the way that I grinded for all I got. This is for the fake and the lies and the pain we subscribe to. I swear that it's all we not. This is for the we and the me, cause ain't shit guaranteed except that we is all we got. Yeah, we all we got. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Look, tell y'all a story. They wanna know my mic game, it's 98, game 6. Wealthy soul, they wanna know how I'm happy, but they ain't rich. Tried to test me, lied as a youngin' and I ain't bitch. Realized this whole game an illusion, ain't been the same since. Ain't many worse enemies than impatience. Vain princes sit upon thrones made of vagueness. Me, my effect director than Young Sway. My effect director is Scorsese. They pose ought to be themselves, yeah, they hard hate. New York kid, they watch me from Oives to Oyes. Cats get a little bit and just do what the coins say. I'm invested in myself, win or lose, that boy play. Try to be humble, I feel like an antithesis. Something like a West Hollywood breast. I bottled the stress, then learned to let it pour on the page, on the stage. Never knew how important my stains. Probably have to sell 1 million records before I'm embraced by the cool table, and by that time it be boring and fake. Do you know what it's like to have morals these days? It's hard to believe in karma and rewards seem in vain. But I suppose the pros alone is in itself the destination. I am the excavation, the soul of a restless nation, composed of every one of your woes and hesitations. Saw the script and I burned it, the smoke rose from the basement. So whatever my lineage or rank that they fit me in, bury me a city kid, product of the shit we live. Tried to live to give, think I might succeed it. Just don't let the ones was hollow critique and say I was a genius. Call them on their bullshit in the spirit of craft. Even wise men walk in circles when they clearing the path, and make those who felt the love outnumber vast. Those who had to get near to the wrath and steer clear of the trash. Yeah. I almost lost faith. I swear I almost lost faith. Yeah. That's what every boss face. Fuck your little bizarre takes. Homie, look, I'm on pace. Even when I'm off base, I ain't running your race. No, 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 no. Yeah.
Hey, you. Fuck you, alright? Fuck you. You know what you do? Make me sick, you son of a bitch. Fuck you. Tell him. Tell him. Make me sick, man. Tell him. Fuck you.
Oh my God. A lot of y'all just want some shit to critique, but your ass can't listen in the midst of a speech. As long as the cool table still got limited seats, and you try and argue your way in, you'll be sitting with sheep. Yeah, we so quick to just speak, addicted to peaks, but life lived in the middle is sweet. Chasing highs, avoiding lows, never time to even learn. Usually ones getting louder don't even believe their words. I'm from New York, we was taught not to feed the birds, but ain't a hungry pigeon in sight these days. Politely, hey, this shit we giving hype be fake. I wonder a lot of days what good is progression if it's all built on lies. Lost our ability to evaluate, need to recalibrate. I read your little tweets, I think your passion fake. Everyone want eat, but it's rare that they want have the stakes that I have embraced. Man, have a plate, or keep acting like this shit don't matter. Acting like we ain't the blueprint for the kids going after. Acting like we ain't the ones who made it cool to not know and not try and not grow. As long as you got hoes, right? I feel responsibility to declare you flopping. And I do my duty free like airport shopping. Won't take the culture name in vain. You a junkie, dudes just won't be liked, even if that means they won't be wrong. Claim they cold, but that's fear. They present the same, shivering, covering up, unrelenting games. Yeah, they want the fame, they don't want the pain. They wanna be Marlon, they don't want work at the other name. Mission to avoid the cubicle, turn to a calling. I ball and I'm musical, Esperanza Spalding. Yeah. I'm the best out, debate your mother. She probably saw me on MSNBC and loved it. I'd rather have these dialogues within the culture, but this payola these days is undercover. I guess it ain't payola when this shit's the whole structure. Like the same thing on the table is somehow better than under. I shout shit they ain't got the balls to utter. Appalled, disgusted how I live. I don't know how you ain't. The money's there, but the value ain't. I run circles round you dudes till I'm out of shape. Yeah. So fuck you and your little pouty face. No one ever cared about mine. I had to prove I wasn't pussy every day my whole life. If they look at me like a trust fund, baby, one more time, I might slap the shit out your face. Open hands so you overstand. You ain't worth the risk of a broken hand. Only spend time with my people, really know the plan. You just fear this lion, cause all you know is lamb. And that ain't to the people's champion, my speak universal. Maybe just not in your circle, you can say my flow Mandarin. I ain't from them industry farms where you got plucked like a mandolin. Whose man's is this? Let an algorithm say what kind of man you is. Rely on AI, but won't work on how you handle shit. That ain't the answer, kid. I push the lines, they shit sound like risk management. I like my privilege and I never once complained about my disadvantages. And I won't, just don't act like I was handed shit in this game. When to this day they try and block my shine cause of insecurities they ain't abandoning. I'm a truth that you know but you ain't accepted yet. Come back to me when you ready to discuss how I'm actually the best. You couldn't fuck with me and all that apathy's just distrust to the size of your nuts. Yeah. Retaining all this wisdom, I think that kid they think of wisdom. I ain't impressed with dudes, and that ain't rude, I'm just frank. Words to the fur I just threw in the fire to bake. Cause I'm retiring, lying and hiding in flyness for sake of disguising your lack of a basic desire to think. It's Mr. Call it what it is, I run and hide. They don't want to stand next to me, I wonder why. Nothing reveal the truth more than a fucking lie and vice versa. That's why they don't want none without the bags in my sight. Word to the bags under mine, so I'm up in mine. Cause it's cold out here, and shit's starting to get darker like it's late autumn. Don't call me for a versus battle unless it's James Baldwin. I'm on do not disturb in case fake calling. I don't wanna know, I'm trying to live for now. Student of the game, but I'm principal. Since I was a little child, always had ambitious style. Yeah, so just embrace me, dog, stop it. I birthed a lot of rappers, even if they look adopted. Spend all day reading comments and then wonder where the con went. When dudes faking, tell them yeah word, let a con vent. I learned that when I was hooping up our convent. Let them judge you, just don't get held by what a content with, cause they will. See, I'm different, they feel. The shit I spit from Brazil to up in them LA hills. Dudes hear the kid and they chill. Start amending they wills, pretend offended, they bills. Depend on who they say they ain't. Come around like they angels and try to play the angles. Offer value exchanges and then they never pay you. So this year, I had to get some people off the back of me. Can't hold it down for everyone. Oh, I ain't gravity. I've been in the cut getting stronger like an infection. They've been moving back, space getting longer like a reflection. Ironic they can't see their own. Feel like the most loved dude ever who was destined to be alone. Yeah. Listen to my motherfucking album, man. Stop playing with me.